Alright, so this is going to be a no restriction run of Amnesia: The Dark Descent, which basically means we're playing on a earlier patch that allows for a glitch called load warping, and also allows for full use of quick save and quick load, which isn't normally allowed in any percent. I'm not sure if you could tell, but already I used quick save and quick loads multiple times as soon as Daniel started talking in the intro to skip his dialogue. It actually ends up speeding up this entire section by about 15 seconds. Just for viewing purposes, I removed all the load screens from the video, so it looks like sudden jump cuts in some spots, but it looks pretty smooth when transitioning from areas and levels and menus and whatnot. So that's also why you might have missed the quick saves at the start. For the first couple maps here, nothing too interesting happens. It's just business as usual, except that 15-second time save at the start. The average time is about 155 here for any percent. We're getting a 142 there instead, not bad. I had an idea for this route to pick up the lantern for something that happens way later in the run that I may forget to explain, but for this run I decided to go on without it. Here's the first example of a load warp happening though. It's going to be used for a trick and entrance hall, and it'll go by pretty quick. So we're going to quit out, load the save, hold left mouse, and it's gone. We're in Refinery now. I'm also using quick save and quick load here to skip through the dialogue from the flashback to advance it quicker. Every time you quick save and quick load, it skips that line. You just do that a few times and you're all the way through the flashback. So how the load warps work is every map has a default node your player will spawn at, which is start area 1, and on patches 1.2 and earlier, you'll spawn in there for one frame and be able to interact with the level door near it, because those are pretty much always going to be placed at a level door. And the level door that's next to player start area 1 for the entrance halls happens to be right next to the door to the refinery, the exit for some reason. So that allows you to skip the whole thing. There's also some camera directional requirements that you'll see me adjust for, but we'll get into that later. This map's a little different. This actually doesn't go too well, but generally you can item clip similar to Soma by jumping into a corner, but putting your back into the corner, grabbing an item, letting go of it, and as soon as you let go, quick save and quick load. As you can see, it keeps shooting me into the wall, then out to the side over and over, but that time it actually worked properly. The rest of this isn't too interesting until study, I think. I think overall this map went well though. Overall, rather. I think I get this boost. Yeah, buddy. Soren. Another interesting side effect of quick save and quick load is it disables fall damage, which will actually be used intentionally for no reason other than that. Fall damage is a big part of Amnesia speedruns. You have to manage it very accordingly, or your move speed will be dropped a lot, and some tricks even become impossible when low on health. Certain clips. Speaking of certain clips being impossible, here's one that's only possible on this patch. So there I grab the rod, quit out, reload. You can also notice I look towards that wall before quitting out, and that's because that's the direction I have to face to look at the level door. Here's going to be an example again of clipping with a item. Grab the key, quit out, reload, and the door is touched. So for most of the routing here I used Terra's segmented run, which uses all these strats as reference. However, since it is a segmented run, some of them are just absolutely crazy, so I had to improvise routing a bit. I tried something there with the box, but it didn't quite work out. I thought that if during a flashback, normally the monsters won't interact with you, but I thought they still interacted with things like boxes being thrown. So I was hoping to go up there, but he had other plans to follow me down here. So now this is a pretty cool route that's quite unique for storage. It's kind of doing it backwards. We get all the drill parts first, clip out with the box, boost on up. Be sure to get stuck, that's very important. Just waste a little bit of time there, very cool. Here's a cool little boost, and it gets you over to here. And if you're familiar with any percent, you should know about where this is. This is usually the backup strat in case you fall down, but since you're already down, it kind of becomes the primary strat here. And now we're going to do the YOLO boost up to the rods here, which I think I get first try, very nice. And then from there, continue looking that way and do the reload warp. I saved quite a bit of time there. So the timer on the right doesn't really mean anything, it's just RTA. Unfortunately, there's no load remover for this. Because boy howdy, let me tell you, spending 45 minutes manually removing all the loads in Sony Vegas Pro, it's probably not the best use of time. At the end of that backhaul, I should have immediately started canceling the, what do you call it, the flashback. I should have started quick saving and loading through it, but I waited until after the levers for some reason. So basically the way this video is edited is it just cuts out all the loads, so you're basically just seeing what would be timed if there were a functioning load remover. So that's all the gameplay, the pause menu, and the main menu. Machine room, still machine room, not much you can do. You can leave a little quicker though. And pretty sure there's no way to speed up the elevator section, it's just an auto-scroller. Obligatory fun fact, the elevator actually stays perfectly still, it's the wall that's moving up and down slowly. It's very immersive though, they have really good sounds and particles for it to really sell the illusion. A little bit of screen shake, sparks. So here I should have immediately started, or I should not have skipped this at all. because there is an actual event here that is unrelated to the flashback that makes you move very slowly. It's like some brute murdering some guy a few rooms over. So that has to make Daniel move very slow for some reason. So I think it would be best to not bother reloading there over and over. Unfortunately, I did hit that cutscene trigger. You don't want to do that. That is a bad play. Combine the drill parts, use the chisel on the hole, and we're into the next level. I think this is one of the bigger time losses in my run, because you'll see why. It's actually pretty dumb. I feel like the rocks are harder to move on this patch as well. There are a few patch differences that are annoying. One of them is quite annoying, and it's towards the very end. It actually ends up costing a lot of time. Yeah, there's my mistake, by the way. Just did not jump at the right time, so I fell into the void. Very cool. So yep, lost plenty of time there. God, that was awful. Probably not going to do that again. I had the idea of just running into the flashback and then reloading over and over. But you can, as you can tell from the way it's cut up like that, without like a load screen between each one, you can really tell your character just like does not move anywhere during that. So it's not always the best option to just run in and then brute force your way through it. So now I'm making sure to look towards the door here, positioning myself accordingly, so as soon as you hear Daniel's little screech, you can reload. You don't want to reload too early there, because even though you do get the flag to be able to enter the sewers, your camera's kind of broken if you leave the level too quickly. You have to wait for the event to finish. Third try wall clip there was pretty decent. As you can see, it saved me a lot of time in that run. 11 seconds. Sewers is the same though. Nothing too interesting going on here. Just me struggling to clip out the usual. Wave 1's kind of fun. This route makes it really easy. Normally you do a very big fall here and do a fall damage cancel at the end, but I actually reloaded there, so now I get to just jump down, not take any fall damage, and go for this cool boost that I do not get. Feels bad, man. So we only have to see that choir entrance once. If you've been following along, you might understand why, considering where we entered the area, where that starting node is. Also at the end of choir, generally, you grab the last orb piece and then just fall out of bounds for a while. It's like 25 seconds or something of just no gameplay. And then when you finally do void out at the bottom of the map, you respawn at the entrance. So you can see reload warping here can save a lot of time. Also, I did get gap boost first try, spoilers, which I'm happy with. That's a difficult trick. Got that boost too, very swag, very cool. Overall, this new route's pretty fun. There are a few things that are frustrating, like the end, but we'll get to that. The storage route's also pretty hard, having to deal with the the grunt. And tricks like these just feel so much worse on this patch for some reason. That clip out feels so much more difficult. Got a very swaggy boost up there. Reloaded there so I wouldn't take fall damage. Because when you do fall and void out, spawn back at the start, it sets your health to a preset value. But since we're just reload warping here, it doesn't do that, so we want to avoid the fall damage if possible. Also, here's what I meant by skipping the choir entrance. So now this should be a pretty easy clip with the chair, but boy do I make it look hard. I think this time I finally get it. The idea is to have, okay, so when you grab an object, it loses collision with you, and then when you let go of it, it regains collision. Also, whoopsies, clipped and bounds. And so the idea is to let go of it, quick save, quick load, and then essentially the game sees that as two bodies occupying the same space. For some reason, your character is the weaker one, so you're the one who gets pushed off, and that usually clips you out of bounds, but depends on the object, how easy or difficult it is, and the wall you're trying to do it against. That corner there that I was trying to clip out of was very finicky. We did it, we beat the orb box, we managed to pick it up. Third try. Oh yeah, Transept's route is a bit different, I failed to mention. Instead of just going straight to the left at the start, you actually hug the right side and skip a flashback. And then you go across, and then you go to this, the middle one last, from out of bounds. You also go out of bounds to skip a flashback, and it's also a more direct path. Because you don't have to go through the center, you kind of go around the outsides of it. Excuse me. Last orb, look at the door. You know the drill by now. It's a pretty fun tech, I like it. Whatever makes a video game faster, I like it. Generally don't want to reload in this map at this section because for some reason it has a tendency to crash. Runners think it has something to do with Agrippa being in the center. Like when you look over towards him, it crashes. We're just at the end of Chapter 2 here, though. Also, with this route and your capability to avoid fall damage at will, it really cuts back on the laudanum requirement. The only laudanum that's really required is the one here, because when you do start this map, regardless of what your health was before, it sets it to bleeding pretty badly or whatever, so your movement speed is cut a bit. So being able to use a laudanum right out the gate makes running through these tunnels and the last couple levels a bit faster. Oh, fell into the water. Here's a cheaty way of going down. Instead of doing some fancy fall damage, just jump straight down after quick loading. Also get a sick boost. Nice boost there. The slime has a chance of damaging you when you walk over it. It's pretty random. Even if you jump over it, it can hit you in midair for some reason. Maybe one day I'll not fail this jump. So there, do a few more, do another quick save, quick load to damage cancel. And now here's where we end up losing a lot of time. This would be a really clean route overall, except we can't clip through this last wall like current patch can. Truly unfortunate. So you have to do this glitchless pretty much, where you prick your hand on the blood needle and then stand in the circle until you go crazy. You'll see why this is even worse as it happens right here. You can see my camera's going nuts. And then, onto the ground we go. So here we are. Just knock the last few pillars down. You can actually throw them and it forces them off, instead of like clicking and dragging it the entire way. And there we go. So the real time there was 26:33, but the in-game time was 24:23, I believe. So that was already significantly faster. My single segment PB was 26:56 real time. So this is even faster than that, even with all the in-game time strats. Well, anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll probably do more runs of this soon and improve the time.